Okay. Um, I just want to go over really quickly how I passed my another TopStep account really quickly. In 2 days. And honestly, this is a pretty big milestone for me. I haven't passed an account this quickly before. This is the fourth account I'm passing this year. I passed like an account like for every month of the year so far. So it's honestly been a great month. I haven't on. I wish I had been keeping up with the recordings and videos and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. Just been not really feeling it, but you know, maybe I'll start again. I didn't really have a reason to stop. Well, sort of. You know, work outside of trading just increased, I guess. Taking more of my time. So yeah. So here are my trades. Yup. Well, here's my balance first. 53,000 and $4.44. This was on Monday. Yeah, this was on Monday. So we came in with a bearish bias. 4 hours bearish. So my bias is bearish. I'm practically just gonna be telling you how I trade these combines, I guess. I trade my actual live accounts differently because of capital preservation. I don't want to be, you know, um, blowing them. Oh, sorry, that was kind of loud. I don't want to be blowing them as quickly. And on my uh, evaluation phases, I increase my risk pretty heavily. That's why I'm able to do it just in 2 days. So, well, three technically trading days, but 2 days, like actually 2 days. All right. I mean, I don't know. As you can see, it's Tuesday, April 22nd. I took my first trade on April 21st on a Monday. That was yesterday. So we had swept, I believe, 15 minutes. Yep, 15-minute liquidity into a 5-minute fair value gap. I waited until the. I waited until this fair value gap, this 5-minute fair value gap got inversed. And then also there was a breaker structure. So not only that, there was a fair value gap inversion. There was also a breaker structure forming a order block as well. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I took that down at 1.5 risk. Like I risked $1,000, reward 1,500. I took it off around like 1483 or something like that. I ended up on the day. And then today practically, same thing, very similar. There was a what's it called, 15-minute liquidity sweep right here, as you can see. Low, then high, boom, low, tapped in, swept that, tapped into a 15-minute fair value gap. And I had originally taken a long after we inverse. Where's the gap? Was it on the 1 minute? Was it on this one? It must have been on yes, I believe it was. Yeah, there's no gap. It must have been on ES. Yeah, I inversed the gap and then I held to these 8 London highs, I believe. Yep, London highs. And I had that, it was like $40, whatever, but it brings me closer to my goal. That's really what matters. Then, following that, there was a breaker structure back to the upside, and a fair value gap formation. I knew that it was going to be tapped into, one, because there is a candle that formed with no wick. So that's a pretty high point of liquidity that it usually tends to run practically almost every time at some point. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to respect the fair value gap. It just means that it's going to get there. So I wanted to use that as an entry point and basically just try to get a reaction off a price when it gets into the fair value gap. So that's what we did. We tapped in, respected the fair value gap. I entered around here, and again, like a 1.5 risk reward ratio. Took it off a little bit early. I don't remember where. It was like 14.79 or something like that. The first one was I ended the day off at like 14.83. This one 14.79. So that, that brought me to like 14. I think it was like I'm sorry, 29.63. So today technically market closed, and honestly this is my first time doing this, being able or having the opportunity to get this done in 2 days. So I wanted to know, maybe it seems like I guess I had to wait until like 6 p.m. tomorrow until they confirm it actually, but I did, and yeah, so I waited until 6 p.m. until like market opened back up again for Asian and London session, and yeah, so market opened up, created a big old gap. We're honestly definitely going to be trading into this tomorrow. Today I was targeting, I don't know, I just really want to talk about this. Today I was targeting, where was it? This gap right here, this gap. We can see that it got hit. I also took that trade on my are they called XFA accounts? I don't know. I just call them like live accounts, even though I know they're not live. They're like live accounts. I took it on that. Made some money off that. Yeah, I was targeting this. What is this, weekly opening gap or something like that? I don't know. Oh no, daily opening gap. Pretty high point that it didn't get filled all the way, but yeah, honestly we're most likely going to be digging deep into this. Well, we swept this low. We'll see. I don't know, but I probably want to see something like, because there is a lot of low resistance liquidity all down here. That's also something that I noticed and why I wanted to target all the way up here. There was, yeah, and a lot of low resistance liquidity all over here, and it filled this imbalance already, sweeping this low out already. I think there was an S&T with ES. Yeah, so let me go to 1 minute. So this isn't an exact trade. I didn't take this exact trade. I really just slapped on. Okay, so we gapped up. Okay, and immediately I'm thinking about, okay, I'm gonna short into this gap. It's just something that I want to see now. I wanted to see this fair value gap get ran through, get inverse, and I wanted to see this fair value gap get tapped in. Okay, we didn't see this fair value get tapped in. That's whatever. So I entered a bit after this candle formed. It was somewhere in this fair value gap right here, or not this fair value, this the body of this candle, and then I just held until I passed. that was really it. I just held until I passed towards the new day opening gap. great trades. Great trades. It's been a great month so far. It was started off extremely slow. Like for the first 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, literally, it was like until yesterday. It's like 20, like 3 weeks. 3 weeks into trading, I did not take a single trade, which was very upsetting. Very upsetting, but it's whatever. Yeah, I don't know, be patient, you know. I think I'm gonna, I don't know, I think I'm gonna try to go for 100K now. Go kind of heavy on these accounts. Like, it just, man, amazing. Like, it feels great. It really does. This is like all this time learning, being in the markets. Took a really long time to some, but not as long as I thought it would take. I don't know. I'm really grateful.